You're listening to Real Crime, the Movie Sleuth podcast.
Why does this have to happen? When I'm not here, everything is just hunky-dory. Everybody's very well behaved. But no, when Scott comes here, we have to talk over the friggin' intro music.
Yeah.
Because you're inspirational.
To do what? I don't want to inspire people to be jackasses. I do enough of that. This is the one place I try to do something decent for the world, and you have to fist fuck it every time, Chris.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that was strong too. Oh man, I'm sorry. We may have to edit that one out.
No, fuck it. Let's leave it.
Wow,
yeah, this is gonna be a way lighter show for us tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm severely sleep deprived to the point where my left eye is twitching right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't lie. I was close. Like, we had a bite to eat at the house, and I'm like, ugh.
I just want to go to sleep.
How mad would Chris be if I really called him right now and said, why don't you guys just go as a three unit?
Do a threesome?
Yeah, do a threesome tonight. But no, I'm here. Chris is here. Miss Michelle's here. Travis is here. Trevor here. I told you I'm tired. I'm sorry. Trevor's here. I've met like a bunch of... I'm sorry.
No, that's the one name everybody...
Trevor.
Whenever people screw up my name, it's always Travis.
No, I'm sorry.
And the worst
I
part
know your
is,
damn name. We talk all the time.
I know.
Trevor.
And every Travis I know is a douchebag.
Yeah, they usually are.
That's what happened to you.
I'm not a Travis.
No, I'm just... Jokes are flying over heads tonight. Yeah, totally sleep deprived. This is Real Crime. We're here, and it's going to be like Chris said.
A little more loosey-goosey tonight.
It's a little more loose, off the hip.
Yeah.
We're going to have to think
Episode 90.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Trevor. That was Trevor speaking.
I just want to know when Travis is going to show up.
Hopefully never. That guy's
Travis
an
is going to be
asshole.
sitting on my lap.
I've been waiting for Travis to be here for like 89 episodes.
I'm sorry about that, Trevor. I really am sorry about that. That was...
It's Travis Pastrana is actually who's going to show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right after he his whole jumping the Caesars.
He's going to jump over the house.
Yeah,
He's
that's the plan. That's the plan. I think he's going to do some meth out front and then jump stuff.
Chris, what do we got?
Well, first, we want to mention our sponsors, the Flint Institute of Arts. Make sure you go out there and check it out. I know they've got a lot of new stuff coming up this summer. So, film series is off until September. So, just go out there and check out the art exhibits and all the other cool stuff they've got going on.
I'm going to ride a drone out there.
We should really go back out there because, honestly, it's pretty sweet.
I want to hang off a drone the whole way.
A group
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
A field trip.
We can all
Field
pile
trip,
in my van
exactly.
that has no air conditioning.
Oh,
No, we could shoot ourselves first.
Well, yeah.
That's the only
You guys
way
would
you'll
get
me
there.
a
It
van
just
without
wouldn't be
air
that
conditioning.
comfortable. It's a pretty
what is
warm
going
van.
on today?
We said it was going to be loosey-goosey, man. All right. Anyway.
Also, want to mention projectorscreen.com and also Sellerman's.
Yes.
Those guys were here last week. They're an all-natural meadery in Hazel Park, Michigan.
Place jams.
Yeah, we checked out some of the raspberry stuff last week. And, Scott, you had the coffee.
The coffee cider.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, that was different. That was
It was
so
coffee
cool.
cider?
Coffee cider.
Actually
Was it
rocked
dark?
out last week. That was a good
Was it like
show.
that? We really had a lot of fun with those guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna be back soon. So we didn't obviously finish, Friday the 13th, like the entire.
Although I am
franchise.
going to fact check you guys
What
on
happened?
your show. So at one point, somebody, I don't know who it was, said that Tom Savini did all the first 4 Halloween or Friday the 13th movie special effects.
Okay.
It's not true. He only did part 1 and part 4.
Oh, really?
Part 2 and part 3 had nothing to do with Tom Savini. They tried getting him.
Yeah.
They were dicks to
Probably-
him, and he walked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's Tom Savini.
That's Tom Savini.
Yeah, that is.
Well, then.
thanks
Either
for, no,
respect
hey,
him or
retraction,
leave.
man. I don't know who said that, but retraction all day long. No, Dom and Jeff were
I
fucking
think
cool.
Travis said it.
It was Travis. Now I remember.
Travis.
It was Travis, that trolling prick.
And last sponsor I'm going to mention is Recklist.com, REKLIST.com. We mentioned this last week. It's a new website that's out. It's a streaming service,
Yes.
but it's more social media based. So you can share movies with your friends. They've got a commenting system, the whole deal. So it's a lot different than like Netflix, and you don't sit there and do that constant browsing thing where you spend like 90 minutes trying to find something to watch and you just go to sleep.
You just watch The Office.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Again.
like more underground and B
Yeah.
movies and stuff on there too. So
That's
again,
cool.
that's Recklist.com, REKLIST.com. So
It's
make
how
sure you
you
check that
don't
site
watch
out.
Criminal Minds for the 5th time.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Just avoid it.
I
Just
love that
avoid
show,
it.
But
It's
whenever I'm like can't find anything, Criminal Minds is my go-to. Like I can shut
See,
this out.
Forensic Files is my go-to.
Ooh,
I
Forensic
love
Files,
Forensic.
good.
We talked about that. I
Yeah.
did the entire series. It was beautiful.
So, in news this week, Timothée Chalamet is signed on to star as the main character in the 2-part Dune movie that Denis Villeneuve is making. So,
Villanueva.
yeah, whatever. However you want to pronounce his name. Bastard. But yeah,
Dennis
so
Vanilla Wafer.
yeah, vanilla wafer.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then Skyscraper, the new Dwayne Johnson movie, abysmally bombed at the Cineplex this last weekend.
That shelf life's wearing off now.
Yeah, 3 movies in 6 months starring The Rock. People
Yeah,
kind of
come on.
dried up on that.
And we talked a lot. I think we even said last week how much we love the guy.
Yeah,
We do.
I love the
I love
guy.
the dude, but yeah, you're gonna just oversaturate people with the dude, and it's over. You know?
Although
Yep.
they're not having that problem with Josh Brolin.
No, but
That's because Josh Brolin. Dude, I want to see more Josh Brolin.
I wanna
He
marry
I
got-
would
him.
marry Josh.
He
Yeah,
is
Brolin.
thank you.
so
We just said the same
sexy
thing. I
now.
wanna marry
Like he
him.
is daddy status. Like
He is, man. Dude's hot.
seriously.
Dude's totally hot.
Did you guys see his 1980s costume party costume?
Did he dress
No.
up as himself in Goonies or something?
He did. He did.
That's
Wow.
phenomenal.
He's cute in Goonies too.
He was. He was.
So, in other news, we typically don't do much financial stuff on here, but MoviePass is about done for.
Yep.
Their stock plunged another 26%.
Holy
This week.
sheep
I just
shit.
used it today, in fact.
Yeah.
I actually canceled mine Sunday.
Well, I did the monthly. I knew, like, everybody's like, oh, let's do the yearly. I was like, fuck that. That shit ain't gonna last. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just do the monthly so
Yeah.
I can cancel it easy and they don't, you know what I'm saying?
Wow,
You're the only
26
reason I
points?
did it at all was that you gave me that
Oh,
free
yeah.
month.
26 points.
And so I paid
Yeah.
for 1 month after
Yeah.
that, and then I was like,
I mean, I
I've used
the
it
hell
4
out of it.
times. So
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it, but it's, I don't know.
Not
It's
for
not
I'm
long.
having
going
a
to
problem
be.
with the surge pricing thing. That pissed me off. So
And everybody else.
in other financial news, this is actually kind of shocking. Netflix today, their stock plunged by 14%. Also,
wow.
yeah. So these big
Do we
companies,
know why?
they had a huge subscriber growth plunge internationally. So their numbers sunk today too. So I don't know. This is really going to hurt Netflix, but that's pretty big news for.
Well, Netflix doesn't have stuff on it anymore. I mean, outside of their own material, it's pretty dry on there. Amazon Prime has like all kinds of movies
Oh,
on there.
Amazon Prime has been
Yeah.
rocking it out.
Yeah, they're
lately.
killing it, dude.
Netflix,
Oh.
I think, kind of put all their eggs in one basket with their own material.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
Netflix originals. So now if you want to
Where
watch something...
Amazon's like, let's diversify.
Yeah,
We can still do our
totally.
own stuff. A lot of good stuff. but
Yup.
Let's get everybody else's stuff too.
Yeah.
So in new releases this week, we've got Mamma Mia 2, which I'm seeing tomorrow night with my wife.
Are you?
Yeah.
She'll like that.
Oh, I like the first one. It's
The first
fun.
one was cute.
Yeah, it's cute. And I think
I
the
will
second
admit that.
one will be too.
Yeah.
Unfriended 2 is out this week. Me and Michelle saw that a while ago.
I mean, it's
What
terrible.
is it? Black
Yeah,
Dark
dark
web.
web.
Dark web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my sphincter.
It's bad.
Oh, God. Disgusting.
Dark web.
Why you gotta be so gross, man?
I don't know. And then last but not least, The Equalizer 2 is out this week, which I'm actually looking forward to because the first Equalizer
Oh,
movie
the
was
first
really
Equalizer
good.
is so good.
It really is.
Yeah.
good.
I just picked it up. I've seen it like 4 times. Just picked it up at Target on sale the other day. I was like, ooh, $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy
It's a good
that.
flick. It's
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
flick. You can't go wrong with Denzel. I know we've already talked about this movie at length, but I always go back to Interstellar.
Oh, God. Ding.
Yeah.
there's a
I
flutter.
love that movie.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen that movie, watch that movie. Everybody's probably seen it by now, though.
No, not all of us.
No,
Really?
you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, if there's anything I couldn't highly suggest more highly to you, it's Interstellar.
You should do a double feature that with Arrival.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tell me the night and I'll be here.
Okay.
Oh, I'll so be here.
I will so be here. So, Michelle, what do you got?
Well, actually, I saw Sorry to Bother You. It's like a kind of a sci-fi indie movie about... I can't really explain it because it's just so weird. It's a very strange movie. It basically is about a guy that works at a call center and then he finds out there's more nefarious things going on at the call center than he knew about. And it's also like kind of like a black comedy. It tackles a lot of social commentary about the black experience and trying to navigate keeping your culture while still being being able to be hired at a job. And it even talks about stuff like code switching, which is where a black person, and I can do it too actually, and I'm only half black, but you can talk white. I'm doing hand quotes, you can't see them, but you talk white to,
I can see them.
you talk white to fit in at jobs and stuff, and then when you're around like your friends and stuff, you speak like you normally speak.
It's called code switching. Code switching.
It's like
I do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's just more so when you're black, you have to do it, because if you speak, with Ebonics or what have you, then people will look down on you and think, employers and stuff. So like when you're around your peeps, you're all like whatever, and then when you go to work, you're like, oh yes,
yeah. Mine's all I change with my speak is I just remove all the dudes and the F words.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I work.
Yeah.
But so I guess it's different.
Yeah, no, it's a similar concept. It's just more of like necessity, I guess, when you're black to do it.
Yeah.
Because you have to fit in or whatever. And then the movie is like really funny. It's a comedy. It kind of reminds me of The Simpsons, the way that the jokes are timed. And then it gets really super weird and surreal later. But it's really good. I'm going to write a review on it later.
Did the microphone just record my throat as I was drinking that water? Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
I'm used to the way your throat
sounded like you're deep throating.
I walked right into that one, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trevor.
So I'm going to go Alias Grace.
right.
Great series on Netflix based off a Margaret Atwood book about a murder that happened in the early 1800s in Canada. Absolutely spectacular.
Wow.
Spectacular. And apparently it's gotten rave reviews from everybody that actually reviewed it. Mm-hmm. And it's the one show Netflix isn't putting up for any awards. And it's flawless. Like, there was nothing in that whole thing I would change. It has Zachary Levi in it. Anna Paquin's in it.
Wow.
And they're supporting characters. Like, the other characters are kind of unknown.
Yeah.
Blown away on every level. The camera work was great, the screenplay was great, the acting was spectacular, and it leaves you kind of doubting what you just watched, which makes it even cooler.
Yeah, because it makes your mind work a little bit.
Yeah. We watched it because my daughter watched it and was like, you guys need to watch this because I need somebody to talk to about it. And we're like, all right, cool.
That's what I did with Stranger Things the first season. It was like, oh, I just watched all this in one night. Now you have to watch it, wife, because I need somebody to talk to about it.
Did you do that after churning the butter? That you call her wife?
God.
Yeah.
Wife, get in here and watch this series now.
Fetch me a sandwich before I
like,
throw you a
no,
beating.
it's like one step from Amish.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just thought of this, Chris, and I know we're kind of loosey-goosey tonight. That's why I'm taking liberties with this. Do you remember the day, now, to the listening audience, the three people that are out there, Chris and I go back many, many years.
That would be two.
We played in a band together many years ago, and probably one of your finest moments I've ever, and you're a funny fuck, Chris. I mean, you're a funny fuck. You've always been you've always cracked me up. But there was this one particular day, I don't know what the hell happened to you, but this guy turned into a complete comedy genius. We were at band practice, and we took a break, and you and I were hungry, so we went to an LC pizza joint,
okay,
to get something to eat. And you ordered some sandwich, right? And for some reason, these people were, and I'm reasonable. You're a reasonable person too, Chris, I know. But these people were just so slow. Nothing was coming. And this is before Hot and Ready and all that crap too. But still, it was like, okay, man.
Don't give away what.
I just gave it away.
These are
slow and cold. So, so we're sitting there semi-patiently waiting, and Chris just starts going into this just hilarity. He's like, "What are you trying to do back there?" Because you ordered a sandwich or something. You're like, "What are you trying to do back there? Slay the salami beast? Come on, let's give me the goddamn." He's just talking shit to the people that work there, dude. I mean, he just was like,
You guys totally got spit in your food. Just
"Oh, I'm sure we did."
Oh,
Why?
I'm hoping it was jizz.
But
I was
Chris,
going to say semen is the more likely culprit there.
Chris was just out of his mind. He wouldn't let up, and I'm sitting there with my face in the counter, dying. And I mean, I'm also kind of just a wee bit embarrassed too. But he won't. He's pissed, and I was getting annoyed too. He just was a bit more vocal about it than I was. And the guy, I remember
Chris vocal?
The most horrible thing though is the guy finally brings the sandwich out. He like proudly brings this sandwich out and hands it to Chris. And I hate to say this, but I forgot the comment you made. But whatever you said to him, it made his face just sink to the floor. You're like, I only took like 300. He just talked a bunch of shit. And he grabs a sandwich, and I'm like, we got to get the hell out of here before security comes and gets us, dude. This is ridiculous. I don't know why.
How old were you guys?
We were early mid-20s.
Yeah, probably mid-20s.
We were young, man.
For some reason, I'm picturing you guys both like 17.
No, well, we were acting like that.
It sounds like it.
He was.
Slow and
there
cold.
I was his hype man. I was like Flavor Flav in the background. I was like totally the hype man back there. But it was, I don't
the
like
actual talented musician in the group?
Yeah. Flavor Flav.
Plays 16 different instruments.
I didn't know that.
Was considered a genius as a child and a
Oh, shit.
prodigy. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Anyways, we'll have to discuss that.
Apparently has the social skills of a housefly, but yeah.
I don't know why that popped into my head. But speaking of altering your idea of reality, I finished The Staircase before I came here tonight.
Yay.
Did you finish it, Chris?
No.
Okay. That movie did make. I think you
Series.
mentioned.
it's a movie?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
the
a
series.
series.
That series, and you were the one who suggested the hell out of this.
Yeah. He's been suggesting it for like 3 weeks. I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I dove into it. I got through it in like a week or so. I just whenever I had time. I really went
Is it
nuts. on it.
Netflix?
Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
Get to the end of that.
I will.
It's bizarre. It's just
Okay.
bizarre.
Is it worth it? Is it
Oh,
worth the
totally.
trip?
Oh,
Okay.
totally. Yeah. It does, I'm not going to spoil anything at all, but it does have that, like you mentioned, Chris, that same, making of a murderer type of feel. You leave it going, okay, where am I at with this thing? And I don't think the purpose of it really is for you to go one certain way. They present the evidence as much as they can.
How many episodes is there?
13.
Okay.
That's
13.
not bad.
Yeah. And there's just evil everywhere. But, But well, that's it.
He's a weirdo.
He's a total eccentric. Michael Peterson.
Yeah.
Total eccentric. Total
Absolutely.
eccentric.
I don't know why you said Michael Peterson. I immediately thought of Michael Richardson and was like, Kramer.
No.
Kramer, really?
No. I mean, total eccentric. Guy was very strange. Not really on the surface, but you could just see it inside.
You can see it in his eyes.
His
There's
eyes.
something a little bit off.
Yeah, and that's where you start to question what really happened with this situation, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I really enjoyed it. I love true crime, though.
Me too.
Me too.
I can watch that stuff nonstop, and these series they do on Netflix, like we said, Making a Murderer, and there's been a
Monster, but I can't remember what it was called. It just came out a few months ago. It was a really good one.
I think you mentioned that one too, and I forgot to get to
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot.
There's some one-off ones too, just some just some movie like documentary movie type ones too. But yeah, this was really good, and I do highly recommend people. It's 13 episodes. It's an investment of time, but it's one of those ones too that you can you don't necessarily have to watch the whole thing. You really can. Like a couple of them, I was watching.
You're doing something else at the same
while
time.
I was working. You know what I mean? You're getting the information. You're getting what the deal is. Because maybe I missed a family photo. I don't think it's really going to put a bearing on.
It could.
How?
The ghost sitting in the background. I don't know.
You never know at his house.
Thanks for I got to mention that too. You and H were on my other show.
Yeah, that was
last
fun.
week. And yeah, we're gonna release that in probably a week.
Cool.
We got some other stuff we have to push forward.
Cool.
But yeah, H who's
You still
here.
need to tell me about that other show.
We still need to talk about that. I know. We're due for a conversation.
We are.
The problem is it requires
time.
Detail.
Yeah. But Chris and H were on Ghostly Talk last week.
Right.
And I don't ever pimp Ghostly Talk on here. I'm going to pimp it now, ghostlytalk.com. That's the other show I do. And that's the only, have I ever done that?
We've talked about it before.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Minutely, just micron.
It was episode 22.
What was that? What was episode 22?
It was a paranormal something other and
so
ghostly
we
talk.
talked
It was
about
episode 22. I noticed because
Yeah.
we had a bunch of downloads of that episode this last week.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Always makes me happy.
but those guys were there hanging out, talking about neat stuff. So yeah, thanks for doing that again. I appreciate it,
Yep,
Chris.
no
Thanks.
worries. So tonight we're changing it up a little bit.
Yes, we are.
Usually we pick a very strict topic and stick to it, but tonight we're kind of going a little bit loosey-goosey, like we said, and we're just going to talk about some of our favorite films.
Yeah, we had a pretty intense week last week, I think, with Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of material we covered, and I think we didn't
Yeah.
really. You had a busy week. You got a new dog.
Oh, dude,
You know,
this has been...
Yeah,
But you have the cutest new
yeah,
dog.
the new dog
Yeah.
is awesome.
Oh,
So we kind of came into this, and that was the right idea. Like last night, this was planned. I think.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this
Yeah.
on Monday.
yeah. Literally last night at
Yeah.
like 8:30, I get a
Yeah.
message of, "Hey, tomorrow night we're doing some of your favorite movies." I'm like,
Yeah.
How many? I don't know. Just okay.
Well, and this is loosey goosey.
Yeah, so...
LG.
First one I want to throw out there, I'm not sure if everybody here has seen this movie or not, but I actually have probably seen this movie more than any of the Star Wars movies because it's absolutely fantastic and it's one of the most fantastical and creative movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Can anybody guess what it is? No. The Forbidden Zone. Richard Elfman's musical
Great
starring Oingo Boingo.
Oh,
Black and white. All the sets are made out of cardboard. Some animation going on in there.
you've
but,
talked about this before.
dude,
a
the
great
musical
movie.
numbers are just absolutely phenomenal, and they like sync back to like some of the old school like Cab Calloway stuff. It's just a great film all around because there's no expectations from it, and there's actually a really good story in there too, you know, about trying to save a family member who's lost in the sixth dimension, you know. But the characters are great, the music's phenomenal. I used to love just smoking dope and watching this movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
on repeat.
I did
Yeah.
that a lot in high school. One of the really cool things about that movie is that it was actually a community project. That all of those guys were all buddies. That
Right.
the artist community in, I think it was Southern LA, were really tight, and Oingo Boingo was the house band for everything. Like,
And they weren't even really out there at
No.
this point. They were not
No.
a big band. This was like 1981 or
but
1982.
they were huge in South LA.
Right.
In the artist colonies or whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, no, that's how Forbidden Zone came about. There was a whole bunch of them going, we could make a movie.
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
In Richard Elfman, Danny Elfman's older brother,
Yep.
the dude is a total freak. I don't know if any of you guys see him on Facebook at all or not.
No.
Oh,
But-
and he has like his own profile. and
I'm
all that?
friends with him on Facebook. I actually interviewed him about Forbidden Zone a couple years ago.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
really?
But yeah, he's just like totally out there. I don't even know where he gets funding from for his projects, but he's just like Danny.
The
He's
ether.
just like a creative mastermind who can just come up with these insane ideas and deliver. He's been working on a Forbidden Zone 2, which I am not really sold on because it looks like it's going to be a lot of green screen work. And I'm like, dude, like
Go back to cardboard.
cardboard.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's different.
And it's
Yup.
neat.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
really
it
neat.
really, the movie had a kind of a Dr. Caligari feel
Yeah,
to
absolutely. Yep. Yep.
it. It was so, yeah, it's one of those movies that burns in your mind once you've seen it.
We watched that here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a party and watched it one
Oh,
night,
nice.
and it's a blast, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And the songs too, there's so many hooks in the songs that, you know, like the alphabet song. Like, who can take the alphabet song and turn it into something profane and fun the way they did? And it sticks. It, like Scott always says, got its hooks into you.
You get this hooked into you.
Yep. So that's the one for me.
That is an awesome choice.
Yes.
Michelle,
My
are
first.
you high
movie-
tonight? What's going on?
No,
You're like just
No,
Hey,
oh,
what's
she's
up,
guilty.
man?
Very mellow tonight.
just chill.
No, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm not high. What are you talking about?
I might have had a couple glasses of wine before I came over here. for dinner.
Oh, you know what? we emptied my liquor cabinet out last week. We're trying to clean things up, and we had like 4 bottles of wine in there. And I haven't drank wine in like so long So I dipped into that stock. Well, that's a really weird fun buzz. I forgot
Yeah.
how much fun it is
Wine
to drink
drunk's
wine.
the best drunk.
Wine, yeah, it does kind of turn you.
All I
like,
remember about drinking wine is the hangovers, so I don't touch
Yeah,
it.
it's
Well,
the
yeah.
worst
Yeah.
hangovers. It has
Oh God.
The tannins.
the tannins. Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, Michelle.
Oh no. My first movie I was gonna pick is Legend, which is a weird pick, I guess, but it's one of
great
my
flick.
all-time favorite movies. I just love every aspect of it, the aesthetics of it, the music. Like, I wish they don't really make dark fantasy movies as often. Like the 80s, there were so many of them, and now they barely touch that genre. Like, pretty much the only person that makes movies like that anymore is Guillermo del Toro. He's pretty much the only guy that still makes that type of a film.
I
but-
wish Ridley Scott would go back to it.
I know. It's like, it's kind of,
That was Ridley Scott, right?
yeah, it's Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an outlier a little bit in his filmography too. It's like so mystical and I love Tom Cruise is all sparkly in it, and there's unicorns. Like, 11-year-old me, that was the coolest fucking movie that's ever existed ever. Like, it was just the greatest thing ever. Like, I used to really super be into unicorns and fantasy stuff and
Oh, I have the 12-inch Darkness.
oh yeah, and
action figure
Darkness
that Nika put out a few
is
years
so
ago.
weirdly sexy in it.
Yeah,
And then when I
it's that
watched
Tim
it,
Curry thing.
yes. And then when I was older and I watched it, I was like, oh yeah. I would that scene where he's trying to turn her evil and he gives her that black goth dress? I would have been fucking goth so hard and lived with him. I was like, that unicorn's been dead. I killed it like an hour ago. So let's get this goth sex party started.
The goth goat sex party.
Yeah. And the music is so good. Tangerine Dream.
Oh, yeah.
I love every Tangerine Dream.
My problem is with that movie is that they keep releasing the damn director's cut without
Oh.
the Tangerine Dream.
You know what's funny? It's the alternate score. That,
it was good,
it's just
but the
boring.
Tangerine sound,
Yeah.
Tangerine Dream soundtrack is so.
I can't even
perfect.
watch it without the Tangerine Dream. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel right. Like
Yeah.
I'm so used to the musical cues for the Tangerine Dream one that like the other one feels really weird and empty to me. Mm-hmm. It's just like such, and it makes it so like 80s too. That very synthy, ambient score, and it's just it's like a dark movie, but it's for kids. They don't make dark movies for kids anymore, really either.
I'm looking at my phone.
No, I'm looking at my list.
Yeah,
I'm listening to you. No, we're not.
I'm watching porn.
There's no porn being looked at here.
Or barely any porn.
Barely.
Hardly. any
Not much porn,
Not much.
but just
yeah.
a little.
That's
bit.
that's
a
one
soft
of my favorites.
X.
That's
I
one of my-
love that movie. Love
Yeah.
that movie.
What about you?
I'm going Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai
Oh,
across
fuck
the
yeah.
fifth dimension.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. I have the Shout Factory Blu-ray for that.
Me too. That is one of those movies that I can continually go back to and watch. I remember seeing it in the theater when it came out. It was one of the first PG-13 movies ever made, or ever rated PG-13. The over-the-top John Lithgow
Oh yeah,
makes that movie worth it by itself. And then you watch it and watch all of the other stars that are in that movie that weren't quite stars yet. It's like
at the tipping point.
Yeah,
They're all at the tipping point.
yeah. I mean, you get the great Jeff Goldblum in it.
Yeah. Ah.
And Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Peter Weller.
Oh my God.
Before he got his degree in history and became a history professor at Syracuse.
Yeah. These people are smarter than we think.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Well, a lot of the actors I noticed they have college degrees and stuff because for to be an actor, I think it's a little harder than people think. Like you have
James Woods. Who am I thinking of? It was a Casino.
What about him?
James Woods.
James Woods.
is in Casino.
Yeah, James Woods. He's like a Mensa or something. He's like some super brilliant dude.
Yeah, he's a total D-bag, too.
Yeah.
But
I'd still
I've
sit
read
on
that
his
he is like
face.
he's like genius level, like genius level
James
IQ.
Woods like super hot to me.
James Woods?
Yeah.
I'd hit it. I'd give it a push.
Oh.
Or two. All right.
Yeah, I'd give him a push off a bridge.
All right, here's one for you guys. See, the problem I think with this show, when we said we were going to do this, at least for me, a lot of my favorite movies I've talked talked about kind of here. So I was trying to dig into the trough here and try to find some stuff that we may have not talked at least that much about. And one that I know we really haven't covered too much is Superfly, the original one. The original, not that new shit, the original one with Ron Woods, or Ron O'Neal. Ron O'Neal. Yeah. I was introduced to this film through a band I was trying out for, honestly. And these guys were obsessed with this movie. And they're like, you never seen. They're like, you never seen. And they were using samples from the movie, like in their set and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Didn't end up playing with them, but they were really nice guys, and they got me turned on to this movie. So I found a VHS copy of it at like CVS of all places, like 20-something years ago, and brought it home, and I just fell in love.
Oh yeah.
It's a rough movie. Literally, it's a rough film.
Oh yeah.
And if you understand how the movie was made, they did it on a pretty much no budget. They were filming without permits in New York, and the directors did explain. They're like, we would film a scene and get kicked off that corner. We go to another corner, film another scene, get kicked off that corner because we had no permits. We couldn't afford it.
No.
The iguconic car, the Continental, the guy who plays the pimp in Superfly.
The other pimp.
The guy with the white suit. The white suit.
Not Superfly.
Not Ron O'Neal.
Not Priest.
Not Youngblood Priest. The guy who actually played the real pimp. That was actually his car for real.
And he was a real pimp.
And he was a real pimp. He was a real pimp. Yeah. They said, well, can we use your car? He's like, yeah. So.
But you got to put me in the movie.
You got to put me in the movie. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that movie, it's a rough film. It does have a lot of flaws. There's some scenes that just go way longer than they have to. Some of the audio syncs really bad.
Oh, that's just kind of indicative of
exploitation
films.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just they're all low budget.
Yeah, totally.
Shoestring.
Well, the whole sex scene,
style.
the whole sex scene with the same water splash over and over again. And you just keep seeing different cuts, like different butts and boobs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then the really goofy, weird montage of when they sold all the cocaine, and you have like this weird montage of all these people like doing the cocaine, but they're still shots,
right?
People just getting fucking fucked up on cocaine. Polly
Which
Niles,
is real coke.
What's that?
It was real coke.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I heard that.
Oh yeah.
No wonder they couldn't afford the budget. Spend it all on coke.
Spend it all on coke. Polly Niles is also in that movie. She was Youngblood Priest's white girlfriend, right?
Because they always have one white and one black one.
Yeah, and that was his white girlfriend. And for some reason, when I was younger, I was like, damn, that scene in the bed where she's just laying there butt up, I was like, yeah, dude. It's like, and he just takes the cross and it's like there was just so much toughness. I mean, why?
You mean his Coke spoon in his cross?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I obviously do not endorse a lifestyle like that.
I did for about 20 years.
It's a tough flick. It's a really tough flick. Ron O'Neal wasn't the greatest. Nobody was really a great actor in that film, but it really was about the whole ball of wax, and it was done.
See, I have to argue with that, man.
Really, you don't think
Ron O'Neal was spectacular?
He did a lot of his own stunts. I know that. I mean, all that stuff he was doing, jumping over shit. He was doing that all on his own.
He actually was going down to do that movie.
You think so?
I know so. He was a trained Shakespearean actor. He's like quintessential professional. Like everybody would turn to him to how to do the scenes, and for the director would go to him to be like, "How do you think we should handle it?"
So I didn't think there was some scenes. I think it may be editing also. Yeah. You could actually see some of like the miscues.
A lot of times they couldn't afford to do more than one take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd just be like,
and then it's a rough film, but it rules.
And it's got that soundtrack.
Oh, dude, that
Curtis Mayfield.
It's so tough.
Perfect funk.
It's so tough.
Perfect
so
funk.
Awesome. Yeah. It's a great movie, all in all. I love that flick, and it's one of those go-to films. Whenever I know I'm going to have a good time, I put on Superfly. It's a fantastic movie to watch, and it's just so tough. There's just so much toughness with that flick.
Have you seen Sweetback's Badass Song?
No.
You need to.
I've seen it. I actually saw it with the director Q&A afterwards.
With Melvin Van Peebles was
there? Yes. And he is like really old and senile, and every time somebody asked a question, he'd tell him to shut the fuck up. And this went on for like a good 45 minutes. People would ask him these elaborate questions like, "Oh my god, I'm such a huge fan of you and your movie," and blah blah blah, and he'd be like, "Shut the fuck up." That's all he said. He was like, it was obvious he's like was goofing. Senile or something. I don't know.
You don't think so?
He had a handler with him too. Like,
okay.
He's really old now. He's pretty old. He's getting up there.
He's 80s, 90s.
Superfly is an awesome flick, though. I really enjoy that. It's one of those ones I just go back to over and over again. It's one of my favorite movies. Chris, What piece of shit film are you going to suggest?
Well, I'm a huge female vengeance fan. Always been a fan of that subgenre. So, I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh,
dude.
Is literally one of the best horror movies ever made. It defined the way a lot of horror was made.
I think it defined the word cringe also.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of exploitation in that movie too, but I just love the vengeance aspect of that movie. Obviously it's brutal. Everything that happens to her in that movie is brutal, but when she comes back to take vengeance, it's sweet. It's sweet.
Well, it's justice.
vengeance.
It's true justice. And you don't get that in life. I think that's why the movie has the staying power, whatever form of that film you see.
Well, and it feels like it's dirty, it's grimy, and it has that kind of like 70s like Deliverance feel to it still too.
Yeah.
And she's in the water and she's filthy, and then she comes back and like, I'm going to fucking kill all you people. And I think her performance in that movie is great too.
What came first, that or Last House on the Left?
I think Last House on the Left came first, actually, because I was actually doing some reading on this a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure Last House on the Left was first.
Because they always felt very similar to me.
Yeah, they do.
Except for Last House on the Left was a lot more gritty, I think, or at least it felt it to me. Anyways. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's one, I've written a couple articles about that movie, and I was actually a big fan of the first remake, too. So that's it. I like Last House on the Left. I'm sorry, I Spit on Your Grave.
My God. Michelle, your turn.
I'm going to pick for my next movie Akira, which is the first anime I ever saw. They used to have this thing on Sci-Fi Network when it was actually called the Sci-Fi Channel, before they changed it just to Sci-Fi. Back in the 90s, they would have Anime Saturday, and they would show just a bunch of anime movies and stuff. If you talk to any like weeb that's my age, we all got into anime from basically the Sci-Fi Channel Anime Saturday. And I remember I was like 12 or 13, and Akira came on, and I'd never seen anything like that in my entire life. I'd never saw cartoons with like blood in them, with death, with just adult themes, and it was all cyberpunk and crazy, and like just it absolutely blew my dome. Like it influenced my taste for the rest of my life. Like after I watched Akira, I was like, it absolutely blew my mind and made me into the anime fan I am now. But even if you're not into anime, it's probably one of the most gorgeously animated films of all time. It's absolutely, the animation in it is so precise that when they dubbed it into English, the lip flaps don't match anymore. Like usually when they do anime, they kind of just animate mouth movement and then they just talk. But you can actually see them making the phonetic sounds with their lips and stuff. Yeah. So it looks like if you ever watch like a kung fu movie dubbed and like their lips don't match what they're saying, it looks like that. That's how accurate their animation was. Like they spent so much time on this movie. They would there's like a kind of like a funny famous thing where the director had them animate this background scene where somebody's talking, and the background scene, it took them like months to animate it, and it was literally only shown for 5 seconds. But every single aspect of the film is animated and fluid, and like the background details, there's nothing overlooked. And also it's just a cool story. A guy gets power, he can't control it, and it's the old there's a cool guy, a cool protagonist, and then like a downtrodden underdog type guy, and everybody steps on him and kicks him around, and then he gets power, and then he just goes crazy and can't and ends up trying to kill everybody. They kind of stole that when they made Chronicle, which I always call bootleg American Akira, because I hate that movie. And
for me, Akira ruined anime for me.
Oh my god!
It was so perfect.
You're gonna get your eyes closed out. Oh, I thought you were gonna go dark with that. Oh boy!
Perfect. There's a scene where one of the kids screams, and all the windows and all the skyscrapers around him break. every single piece of glass falling on the screen is individually animated.
Yes.
They didn't trace nothing. Literally 10,000 pieces of glass falling, all individually animated.
It's funny because they use a lot of, like, even if you watch modern anime to this day, or even Western cartoons, you'll see the little sequences they've taken from Akira and traced over to make, like, a really famous one is the one where Kaneda is on his bike and he does that sideways thing where he
and the taillights glow.
Yeah,
yeah,
all that stuff they just stole from Akira because I mean, it's just one of the holdouts from cell animation, which I think looks better than digital. It just has a little more organic quality to it. Anime made a switch over to digital animation in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And
they did it too early as far as I was concerned. They weren't ready.
The last movie I saw, I think they made that was still cell animated. It's called Red Line. It's actually a pretty pimp movie. It's like a racing movie. But yeah, Akira's just, and the music's fantastic. And then it's also like has a really weird surreal ending, almost like 2001-esque, where it just starts doing all this weird dreamy stuff at the end. Basically because Otomo hadn't finished the manga when he was... I'm just butchering everybody's names. I'm really bad with Japanese
It doesn't matter.
names.
It's fine.
We love you. We love you.
Oh, the end.
We still like and respect you.
The end.
I really like Akira.
Who doesn't?
Trevor.
No, actually, I do like it.
What about Travis? What does
Travis
Travis
hates
have
it.
to
What's
say?
Travis have to say?
I think Travis hated it, but Travis is a douchebag. We all know this.
Travis smokes Marlboro Reds and
Exactly.
drinks a 12-pack of Budweiser. every
Actually,
Saturday.
he drinks 40s of Oldie
Oh.
because
Gross.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go. The Thing,
Oh, dude.
the perfect horror movie.
Yeah.
The Carpenters you're talking about, I assume.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck with that.
No,
You just
no,
can't.
It is
It's unfuckable. You can't.
the perfect horror movie,
Yeah.
and it's still that one that everybody still has questions about. Like, what is it? 35 years later,
Yup.
Yeah.
everybody's still like, was McCready turned? Was
I think he
McCready
was.
Carpenter says yes.
Yeah.
So we have an answer yes. But do I always trust that opinion? No.
No.
It's kind of like Bruce Willis saying that Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, fuck him in the ass. Oh, God. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The world can suck my dick.
It is.
It is declared, so it shall be done.
The screenwriter said it's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie.
Right.
When I think about what an alien might be, and I'm not saying that it's all, you have all these movies with all these different interpretations of what horror may be, gore, mutilation, whatever it might be, and the effects that it does to your body on a cellular level to do crazy things. We have all these great interpretations. We have all these different films out there, and that's what makes it really fascinating to watch films of this sort. The Thing, what Carpenter did with The Thing, or the ideas presented, or the visuals presented in The Thing. After many views, and we may not share this opinion, but I'm like, okay, if some gnarly fucking thing came down here, we discovered some gnarly fucking thing on this planet, right? And it started doing some gnarly stuff to us. That's kind of, I think, what...
First of all, kill it with fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the
In
moral.
a literal sense.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. For me, what I always loved was the sense of isolation.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
That he captured it perfectly. I loved the interplay between the characters. You don't know who to trust. You don't know what the hell's going on for the majority of the movie unless you speak Norwegian. Because the helicopter flying over actually literally tells them exactly what's going on and what the dog is.
Okay.
In the beginning of the movie. Like, plot's given away, everything's done within moments.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no subtitles.
Yeah, they don't subtitle the helicopter pilots.
Yeah.
But that's what the helicopter pilots read. The dog's an alien. The dog just killed everybody.
Fuck.
Kill it. And yeah.
Holy shit.
I think that this movie makes a really good case also for the superiority of practical effects versus CGI, because that movie looks absolutely fantastic, and it's like, what, 30, 40 years later, and CGI for movies 3 years ago looks like shit. So
No, that's what I'm saying. It just looks so damn real, man.
Look at the
It looks so
prequel
real.
/ remake they made of The Thing, and they did practical effects for the movie, and then they went back and said, we're taking the practical effects out because the kids that are going to see this movie won't. They did do practical effects.
They did do practical effects, but they didn't take it out.
CGI'd over them.
They modified the practicals with CGI so that they could have
That's
a little bit more
actually
reach.
a real phenomenon, though. I interact with a lot of film fans online, and the younger ones that grow up with CGI think practical effects look fake. It's oddly, which I don't understand because they look more real to me than CGI. CGI looks extremely fake to me. Even really good CGI looks fake to me. It's got uncanny valley.
I think it's just a matter of perspective, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I think it's a matter of
Young
what
kids prefer
they grew up
sonically.
with it.
Yeah.
They've done research projects also with younger kids, and they prefer the sound of MP3 to true audio, to lossless audio. They've
just heard it compressed their entire life.
They've heard it compressed their entire life, and they don't really understand what high fidelity is. That I don't want to go too far in the weeds with that, but that's the same thing. It's the exact same thing with CGI. I think younger people are just being raised on CGI. So when something like dare I throw it out there, but the original Clash of the Titans, the claymation's thrown, they're like, what? This looks fucking weird. What is this? It's like, no, dude, this was done all for real. This is
special
real.
Effects.
That's special effects, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Sorry, Michelle, I didn't mean to.
Well, people weren't ready for the thing too. When it came out, it was critically panned.
Oh, it was destroyed.
They had no.
Yeah.
They were like, "What the shit is this?" Like, it's like
Nobody
it was
got
so
it.
intense and gory and disgusting, and like the level of just people were not ready for that movie.
No.
It was so wrong.
And it was the first R-rated movie I ever saw.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Mine was Friday the 13th.
Really? Yeah.
Well,
Scott, you're up.
I was going to talk about one movie, but you talked about The Thing, and I said I didn't want to talk about films I've talked about before, but I also like to talk about films that I really like.
Yeah.
So
That's the
let's
point
stay
of
with
this one tonight.
Carpenter
Let's
here
just be stupid.
and Prince of Darkness. I've
Oh,
thrown
that
that
one-
out so many damn times on the show.
That is such a dark horse in his filmography too.
I'm sorry, guys. I know I've said this. I've talked
It's
about
probably been 50 episodes
this. I
since
know.
you've mentioned
well,
this.
all I'll
no,
say
you're
is that.
right.
I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go into any
No,
more.
it's a
I
great
believe
movie.
that just got released from Shout Factory as well.
Yes, it did.
Just
Did
got
it?
Yeah.
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 Blu-ray?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Fuck.
yeah.
I gotta order it tonight.
And I think Best Buy has it on sale for like $14.99.
I'm going there.
Yeah. I think it's only available online. You got to order it.
I'll order it tonight.
Do it.
I love that.
I love them. And it was a part of what Carpenter referred to as his Apocalypse trilogy: The Thing,
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, In the Mouth of Madness
Yeah.
is
Dude, In the
all
Mouth
terrifying
of Madness
films.
is-
so perfect.
In the Mouth of Madness is incredible.
we saw that at the theater.
Oh,
and
so do we.
We saw it at the
Heavy.
Beacon East on opening night because I was like, we have to see this. And we saw it at the Beacon East, and we were me and Alicia were the only people in the theater. You want to talk about being creeped out?
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
dude.
You're in that old
movie gave me
rundown
nightmares.
theater.
Oh, it is a nightmare.
I went and saw it with a bunch of my friends, and holy crap, went to bed that night, and in my dream, I woke up, and the creepy kid on the bicycle that turned into an old man,
yeah.
the old man is standing next to my bed looking down at me. And then in my dream, I wake up from that, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And then he pops up from the foot of my bed, and I'm like,
Gives you a hand job.
Gives you a handy.
yeah, exactly.
He gave you an
No.
old-fashioned,
No,
didn't he?
no.
An old
An old
fashioned.
He got an old-fashioned from an old man.
I just want to know,
Sick fuck.
did he have lotion in his pocket for you?
Yes, he did.
I wouldn't know. I woke up screaming.
He popped up like a Jack in the Box, and that was with his little
Wrong
plastic
kind
hand.
of popping up.
Prince of Darkness, very briefly, I love the ideas that were presented in the film. I think, honestly, of the three, like we get The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and The Mouth of Madness, of the three, I think Prince of Darkness was maybe the weakest of the three.
It was. I think so.
All around.
Yeah.
However, the ideas in that film, to this day, still blow my mind.
It was brilliant.
And when I say it's the weakest of the three, Prince of Darkness still has the dream sequence, which is one of my all-time, to me, and we said it earlier, putting the hook in you.
Yeah.
That will never, ever, ever leave my psyche. That vision, of the dream and the sounds, the voices, the tachyons that were going back. That whole thing, to me, it'll never leave me. It's one of the in that. Speaking of nightmares, I mean, you're talking about the heaviest of the heaviest, man.
Oh yeah.
Beelzebub is staring out of the church at your ass.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Everybody's
It's 8-year-old watching Nightmare on Elm Street level. Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy. And that's all I'm going to say. We've talked about the film before, probably a little bit more depth, but I love that movie.
Well,
so
it's
much.
funny to me that when you say that it's the weakest of the three, because I'm one of those people that, honestly, John Carpenter's made one movie I don't care for. That's it, out of his entire catalog. Like, he is probably top 2 directors of all time for me.
What's the one you don't like?
Elvis.
Elvis?
Yep.
I never saw it.
Starring Kurt Russell, made for TV movie,
Oh,
1977.
yeah.
I was like, what?
Totally out of character for him.
Yeah. That's the only movie of his where, and it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, crap.
I just like the idea of the film. I mean, I don't like the idea. It terrifies the hell out of me, actually. But it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
The whole premise was very interesting. Yeah, and that's I don't want to. I could go all day on that movie.
So
Which I love it.
I want to throw one out there from kind of left field, and you guys will probably beat the fuck out of me for this
We'll
one.
do that anyway. So
But
might as well just say
Mountain
it.
Dew.
Hit him. Here, I got
Mountain Dew's my favorite.
I got my weapon too. This
Ooh.
little plastic bottle.
You know where these are going, right?
You'll
There's
lose
a
them.
movie
You'll lose
I-
them in there.
There's a movie I absolutely adore that most people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But Hannibal,
Oh,
the
dude,
sequel to Silence of the
I love
Lambs,
it.
Love it.
Oh, dude,
Love it.
is, here's Ridley Scott again.
beautiful movie.
I even like the recasting of Julianna Moore in that.
Dude, me
She
too.
ruled. She ruled.
She nailed
Yeah.
the role. She
I thought she
nails
was.
that
I
role.
actually liked her a little bit more than I like
Cold.
Jodie Foster.
And-
Cold as ice, man.
I haven't seen it.
It's-
Oh my
Never
god,
saw
you have got
Hannibal.
it is so
Hannibal?
brutal.
No.
You would love
It's
it.
so good.
What's the third one? Red Dragon? Is
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Red Dragon
I haven't
is
seen that one
technically the
either.
first one. But
Red
yeah.
Dragon
I've
is
never
a
seen it.
remake.
Let's run down
of
this. Let's run down this
Manhunter.
rabbit hole because I put
So-
Silence of the Lambs on my list. But talk about Hannibal.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, Hannibal, to me, this is kind of like the Empire Strikes Back of the Hannibal Lecter trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, he comes back more fierce in this movie in the shit that he pulls off with, like, the detective played by
but Ray
Juan
Liotta.
Carlo, no, Juan Carlo Giannini.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh.
that death sequence is so
The
tense.
Depazzi
Well, it's
murder.
artistic. It's artistic
Yes.
as hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's got
the
so much
music,
style.
the music that's used over that scene and the
Yeah.
way that entire setup happens where
Yeah.
he comes and basically he's going to confront him and, I know who you are now, but he doesn't really let on to that. And then next thing you know, he's dispatched.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done. And you're like, what the fuck
What
just happened?
I've
Yeah.
never seen that in a movie before.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
The entire setup sequence at the very beginning of the movie with the shootout,
Oh, yeah.
you wouldn't expect that from
So intense.
a Hannibal Lecter movie. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't think that I was going
Gunfight?
into this to see this awesome gunfight between drug dealers and cops where they're just getting fucking
and
shot
then
to fuck too.
then they add to it by having the antagonist with the baby. She has
Oh,
AIDS. Baby
yeah.
doesn't. If she shoots the woman and the blood gets on the baby,
Baby's the
she can
baby's got
infect
it,
the
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Like that whole
Michelle's
sequence.
If it gets into the baby's mouth?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
yeah.
Well, and there's a whole the whole
or in
sequence.
eyes, or
Oh.
you
Yeah,
know,
and they
anywhere
show
there's
a whole sequence with her washing the baby off as
Yeah.
fast as she can. There's
Now
a whole
at the end of that,
scene.
oh.
The whole scene after that when
she's
she's being
crying.
she's being interviewed about what happened, and she's like, you shot a woman with a baby in her arm. She's like, no, her baby was in a holster. In her arms was a MAC-10.
I think perhaps the best thing about this movie, and Michelle, I highly
So
suggest you
beautiful.
watch this weekend.
So
you have
beautiful.
the trifecta of awesome actors all playing antagonists. You've got Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal. You've got Gary
Hello,
Oldman
guys.
as Mason Verger. And you've got Ray Liotta playing the primary FBI agent
Yeah.
who's on the
Mason
case.
Verger is so
Creepy.
disturbing,
Diabolical.
uncomfortable, disturbing.
Diabolical,
It is
man.
spectacular.
It's
I've
trashy.
never heard anything bad about it.
Michelle, I got a copy if you want to
Yeah, I
borrow
was
it.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
I
I have
bought
it too.
And
Yeah.
the thing about it is, it's a great movie, but it does have like that little bit of trashy element to it too.
Oh yeah.
but
But
still,
it's phenomenal.
Did any of you guys actually watch Hannibal Rising?
Yeah.
The prequel?
Yeah.
Holy crap,
good.
that was good.
It was really good.
Like, it got panned, it got ignored
No,
completely.
great flick. Great film.
And here you are watching Hannibal become Hannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who plays him in the?
I can't remember the
He was a
kid's name.
French
Very
actor.
interesting origins
Yeah.
film about where it came from. You know, and it does make you obviously feel
It
for
gives
that
you
character.
sympathy for
Yeah,
him
it gives you sympathy.
on a huge
Hannibal,
level.
to me, and like Chris, you did sum that up nice. Hannibal really, it's not to me, it's way more of a drama thriller type film. There's not, I mean,
It's not
when
scary.
we get into the nitty gritty of it, yeah.
Is this the movie where he makes somebody eat their own brain?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
Okay.
be it.
I remember seeing that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Eating
And
his
it
own
looks
brain.
really good.
It
too.
looks.
It looks
I
phenomenal.
mean,
the
the
first
brain looks delicious. That's
The first time I saw that movie was at a place in Chicago called
Yeah.
the Bruin View.
yeah.
And so you can go drink as much as you want, get smashed, and watch movies. And so, packed theater, and I have a table full of incredibly drunk dudes right behind me. And the scene's progressing, and then Hannibal lifts the top of his skull off. The dude sitting right behind me jumped 4 feet in the air, climbed over the back of his booth, and was screaming at the screen, "Oh, fuck no! Oh, fuck no! Oh, no, no! Oh, fuck no!"
Yeah.
Greatest.
Yes.
Greatest reaction I've ever
Yup.
seen to anything in a movie.
There's so much.
perfect.
There's just so much with that film. It's such a rich movie to me.
It's layered,
You know,
dude.
it's so layered.
You
The
can
cooking-
watch it like 4 times and spot.
Oh,
little-
dude, I have.
little things. Yeah.
You know, the cooking, him cooking. You see him chopping up spinach. You know, and there's just all this beauty involved with the movie. And you know, we also get more into the whole love thing with Agent Starling and Hannibal Lecter. And we're gonna stop because I want Michelle to see this
Yeah,
movie. It's
yeah.
it's an
She'll love
important
it.
film for
All
you to
right.
see.
Let's give Michelle the
Fucking
floor
awesome.
now.
Fucking awesome.
It's all you,
Great
Michelle.
pick, Chris. Seriously, you didn't get beat up for that. Great
Thank
pick.
you.
I'll pick people that follow me on Facebook know I like trash movies. One of my favorite trash movies is Miami Connection,
Fuck yes.
which is like the quintessential 80s trash movie that combines all the most 80s things ever. So it's like about ninjas. It's a ninja clan, and they are also coke dealers. And then the only people that can stop them is this karate club who are also moonlight as like musicians. And
I know I've seen this.
this is the real plot to the movie too.
I believe you. I got to see this.
I know I've seen this.
But I think I brought it over here once and we watched it at a party.
No, we watched it at your house.
Oh, did we watch it at
Yeah,
my
we
house?
watched it at your house. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it has, first off, they're called Dragon Sound is the name of the karate /
Dragon
band.
Sound?
Dragon
Yes.
Sound.
And they wear shirts
We
that say
are Dragon Sound.
Yes. And their songs are fucking amazing too. They're really catchy.
Really?
Yes.
What's it called?
It's called
Dragon
Miami
Sound.
Connection.
Oh, I got to find this.
It's amazing. And
I
it's
gotta
like
find this.
when you explain the plot to people, they're like, "That's not a real movie." I'm like, "Oh, it is a real movie." And there's like karate fights in it, ninjas, and then in the end it gets really gory for no fucking reason whatsoever. Like
It's a
kind of
ninja movie. It's supposed to.
it was kind of lighthearted up until this one point, and then all of a sudden it's just fucking people are getting their arms chopped off and shit, and like
It's a ninja movie.
in between interludes of like Dragon Sound's awesome concerts.
Licks.
It's just the most ridiculous movie, but it's really fun to. It's just the acting's terrible in it, and just
Oh, it sounds like heaven.
yeah, it's
It
a fun
does.
party
I love
movie.
bad movies. I love really. That's how my wife and I met.
I was watching
Yeah.
one-
Was talking about bad
Yeah.
movies. Like,
My boyfriend's not like
It's
super
ingrained.
into them, but he knows if he comes over, I'm probably putting on a piece of shit for us to
I
watch.
got to borrow that from you sometime.
Huh?
I got to borrow
Oh
that
yeah,
from you.
yeah. It's great.
It always makes me, whenever any ninjas in any movie from the 80s makes me think of Ninja for the Domination.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it
Ninja
wasn't.
3.
It's 3.
Ninja 3. But there's a scene in one of the ninja movies. I don't remember which one of the 16 that came out in the 80s, where they're having this fight in a plaza in front of a hotel or something. And there's this big fountain in the middle. And this ninja jumps up and he's about to throw a ninja star. And something hits him, and he hits himself in the forehead with the ninja star. and a geyser of blood, 14 feet, sprays out of the top of his head. And then he falls into the fountain, and all the water in the fountain turns red. And I'm like,
spectacular.
dude, that was a 1-inch incision on your forehead. What the hell just
movies,
happened?
like, they don't make them anymore, and it's sad. That was just, when's the last time a ninja movie came out? I don't know. Like 10 million
Kung Fury?
came out. Oh, yeah. That's, I mean, like a full-on just...
Like, there should be like a full-on, like, 80s.
G.I. Joe retaliation.
Like a throwback. I didn't see that.
Oh, God.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
The second one was better than the first one.
One was enough of those movies. I was not going to subject myself.
The second one was worth it for the ninja fights. It really was. The ninja fights were spectacular.
But it had Bruce Willis in it. Fuck you, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, it's a
Wasn't
Christmas
The Rock
movie,
in
bald
that too?
bitch.
The Rock was in the second one, too.
Yeah. And
because in the second one, they kill all the main characters.
They
in
killed
the first
everybody.
scene, they kill Duke. They kill everybody.
I went
in the
with one
first
of my
scene.
best friends who has a giant crush on Channing Tatum.
Everybody.
Sorry about your luck.
And so we're watching the movie, and they kill Channing Tatum in the beginning of the movie,
Oh,
and
no.
he's like, "Well, I have no purpose being here anymore. like we can leave now." I'm like, "Dude, it's opening night. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I came here to watch a G.I. Joe movie." Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trev, what's your pick?
I'm tempted to go back to Carpenter.
Do
I'm
it
going
if you
to.
want.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing about that movie I don't love. Nothing. Like, I can't think of a single scene in that movie where I'm like, that was badly done.
No, that movie's
Because it was
it's a
so
perfect
over the
film.
type and so took advantage of what it was to the extremes, and it just turned out perfect.
Well, you talk about details in a film too. That movie's another one that you can watch over, and there's just so many little things that'll pop out at you.
Oh yeah. And Jack Burton is one of the greatest film heroes ever written because he is so horribly flawed.
Yes.
Like,
Like
he's like really inept at everything, which is like, but it's great because he's the protagonist, but he sucks at everything.
Which makes it perfect though, because it's like you're getting this insane story through the eyes of this guy that doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. And so you actually believe everything.
But he still has a giant ego, which
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it
Well, he thinks he's the ultimate badass.
Yeah.
But he's a bumbling
you
idiot.
listen to the
in
old
movie.
Pork Chop Express.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I love the
man.
truck. You watch when you do see the truck finally. I mean, I love that you just see that it says hauling ass on
Yeah.
the side of the truck.
Yeah.
I actually used to draw. That movie came out when I was very young.
Yeah.
So I used to draw trucks that were called hauling. I don't know why. I just was obsessed with that idea with a truck hauling ass. I thought
No, it's a great wordplay.
It's a great word play on that vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That movie, it was really cool. I moved here to Michigan from San Francisco, Bay Area. And I'll never forget the first time when I first moved there, my girlfriend took me up to Chinatown. And we're walking around, and I'm like, holy crap, that's where. Holy crap, that's where. Holy crap. Like, I knew all the spots because of that movie. And, like, we went and had dinner at where the Black Pearl Dragon restaurant was. Like, that's where we went and had dinner that night. And, like, it was spectacular.
Remember when we were in Atlanta, that store?
Oh yeah,
Or the
and it
pizza
had,
place.
Yeah, and it painted on the front of it.
They had all the characters
Oops,
from Big Trouble in Little China painted on the windows, like soap paintings,
Yeah.
basically. Painted like the entire pizza place. But I think the pizza place was like Big Trouble in Little China based. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
It was like a play on the name. I don't remember the exact name
Yeah.
of it though.
Big Trouble in Little Sicily.
yeah.
It's a fun movie too because it takes a lot of tropes from movies that a lot of people probably hadn't seen at that point, like a lot of Chabot's films and like a lot of
the
just a lot of those ideas, like and incorporated them into the film. And, and when I first saw it, like I had no idea about that kind of stuff back then, and then I rewatched it after I'd seen all those films. I was like, oh man, he took a lot of stuff from those type of films and just kind of it's kind of like a really cool fusion of Western style movies and Hong Kong cinema in like a way that Americans can
And I thought it was cool because it wasn't
absorb it.
insulting to the
No.
source material
and
at all either.
it doesn't have like the white savior thing because Jack Burton sucks real bad. Like everybody is really
Wong is
like,
one who
good at-
saves everybody.
Yeah.
He's
Except for the end, one knife throw.
Hey, these guys
Yeah.
speak
Jack-
English. Hey, what's this guy's prob? Favorite part of that whole movie.
like they don't make like Jack Burton like I mean because Kurt Russell's so charismatic, like you can't
Yeah.
help but just
Yeah.
think
Love
he's
him.
love him
I
because
love
really
him so much.
because like even in the movie, even though he's kind of egotistical, he's not like really like a jerk though. He's like
No, he's cool.
he's a cool
He
dude.
is. He is.
Like,
he's that
he's-
guy
he-
you would like to hang out with.
Yeah, he's like a
Even though he's a putz.
yeah. Like he's just trying to do his job and get where he's trying to go. He's not
Yeah.
trying to hurt anybody.
I just want he just wants his truck back.
I just want
Yeah.
my truck
I just want my truck back. That's it.
What
That's
is this? It's the hell of the upside down man. Upside down sinners.
All right, I'm going
The
to totally
Chinese have a lot of hells, Jack.
I'm gonna throw this thing for a major curveball. I was spending some time the last couple weeks trying to decide what my favorite thing I've ever seen Clint Eastwood in.
Pine box.
What's that?
Nothing. That was a horrible comment. I said a pine box.
Shut up, you dick.
Why do
That's
you
a
want
shit
everybody
thing
to
say.
die?
Yeah, you want everybody dead. And I decided, yeah, you just killed that fucking kid. Jeez. Literally, you killed that
I
kid.
actually really like his movies, so I'm just being a shit.
Pale Rider.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Man, and I've watched, all of his Westerns. Mm-hmm. I know people really, it's easy for people to say, oh, they're all the same. No, they're not. Mm. They're all, fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 2 Meals for Sister Sarah. We can go on and on. Pale Rider was later, that's a 1985 film, right? Very different from the previous work that he did in, the Westerns. Well, I know it's spaghetti Westerns. Let's just call them Westerns. Let's keep it simple, right? Pale Rider was a very different character, right?
It's more human.
Very well, but he was. You know what? I could be totally off on this. I still think that he was a spirit, an entity of some sort, because you do see in the film when he takes his shirt off, he's got all these bullet holes and lashings on his back and stuff like that. And you do hear later in the film when the marshal comes, their last resort because they can't get rid of this guy. They're like, where the hell did you come from? I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
And at the end of Pale Rider, it's the very where you just kind of see him ride off and kind of just vaporize.
Kind of that shade and Shane ending.
Yeah, and I've talked about this stuff before, and I think they've used that idea in some of the other films too. But it really, I thought, shined out in this film. There's a tenderness about this. He was a fucking badass. I mean, but he was super nice. He had a chance to get the 2 hot chicks in the film. They were both the daughter and the mother all wanted him and shit the whole way through. And he's like, no, you can't. You can't do that with me. Super cool. Ethics are there. Morals are there. He sees a group of people who are just trying to get by and take advantage of the gold rush, and the man is coming down on him, right? It's a really great tale.
I
of,
need to rewatch it. I
it's
don't
a
think
fucking
I've seen
awesome
it in
movie.
25
It's so
years.
great. You got a very young Chris Penn in that film. It's just a really classic, great tale of heroism. Where the little guy is just being beaten down by the big guy, at the time. And I could watch that over and over again. I said it to Amber after I watched it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, I have decided that Pale Rider is not only my favorite, Clint Eastwood Western film, it's just my favorite Clint Eastwood film in general. It's a really, really, really amazing film. And I may be off on some of my things about it, but in general, it's just really fun to watch. The story is really rich. I've said this before on the show about especially spaghetti Westerns. When I was young, I just wanted to see the gunfights. But now that I'm older, I want to know why there's a gunfight happening. Right? It flip-flops. And even Pale Rider, which was more of a linear type of story, it still was an immensely complex plot.
Yeah.
Not maybe as complex as something like a few dollars more, which was immensely complex. Just the characters
much.
and how the writing is amazing, but yeah, it may been a little bit too much, but beautiful. But yeah, Pale Rider, just the name is just tough. I'm a Pale Rider. I mean, it's it's just the whole thing about
that or a guy that has the biggest cowboy hat in history.
Well, because the Pale Rider is death, right?
yeah.
He comes out, he rides on a pale horse.
And that's kind of the idea. That's why I'm saying this may not be
Maybe he
what
was
it seems.
deaf. Maybe he wasn't.
And I'm
a
sure,
ghost.
I'm kind of going off the hip like we were saying tonight.
What if he was actually death instead of being a ghost, and
could have
he's
been.
escorting the women to the afterlife?
Well, no, women.
The mom and the girl.
Well, no, they're not.
Oh no, not escorting. Yeah.
Well, no, I think who knows? It's a really weird. I mean, I'm sure we could probably Google it and get some really deep end synopsis that'll or somebody on YouTube has probably explained this to death. That's not the point. It's just fun to talk about it.
Yeah,
the movie
exactly.
rules.
Yeah,
watch it.
Well, I'm gonna latch on to yours because you brought up Clint Eastwood.
You latch onto it all the time, anyway. Yeah,
It never stops.
grabby hands.
I think we might have time to go around once more.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's cool.
Gran Torino.
Fucking awesome. Movie.
That's a good movie.
Love that movie.
I love it. I love
Get
it.
Off My Lawn, the movie.
Yeah.
He's so grouchy.
I don't even need to go on and on about this movie. I just love the character arc of him in that movie, how he's unaccepting of anything and everybody that's different. But at that, you can't teach an old dog new tricks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He learns to accept, the minority that's living next door to him. And he begins to teach the kid how to do things. And there's a really cool arc to that.
Yeah.
That he's racist. He's an old
Very racist
that, lived through, all the shit in Detroit and everything. And then over time, his personality changes at an old age. And then obviously we get the sad ending,
Yeah.
but I always go back to that
how it
movie.
ended.
Well, I think Walt Kowalski, that character, he sees this family, the child, the young man, for specifically, and he sees all the things that are happening around them. How he's like literally the Hmong gangs.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. You just have to join.
Right.
Like there's no, either you join or you don't join. You go do if they want you, they're just going to take you, and they're going to make you be a part of that gang. And I think Walt Kowalski was seeing that when through the film, and yeah, there is those great scenes with him because the kid tried stealing his car.
Yeah.
It's 1972 Gran Torino, and he caught his ass and nearly shot him. Right.
Right.
And that's when somehow, well, I think I'm a little behind on this flick now too, but he had to come over there and do some work. That was part of their. He wronged him.
He was making. Yeah.
He was trying to make amends.
Right.
And there's that great scene in the garage where hey, man, where'd you get all these tools from? He's like, well, a thief like you wouldn't really understand this, but a man acquires tools like this over a period of 50 years.
Right.
Stuff like that. I think I don't think it was necessarily the people. I mean, obviously he learned to like the people on a personal level, but I think he just saw something like this neighborhood's going to shit. I'm getting tired of seeing this stuff happening.
And there was nothing he could do either about the neighborhood changing, so he had to adapt.
Well, he did a few things.
To what was going on.
Well, he had to adapt to his neighbors, but he did a few things. There was a couple of situations we saw where, he just basically pulled a gun out and said, fuck you guys.
Right.
And so it's a very complex character. Walt Kowalski.
I think the thing for me why I like it so much is I always like slice of life movies.
Yeah.
That could actually take place in reality, and that's how I felt with that movie. Like these were real characters.
It was really
they could
based in
actually
that.
exist in our space, so that always impresses me.
Yeah.
And I just thought the direction was great. So
my better half, Amber, literally, we saw that movie in the theater, and she said, "That is you in 40 years." That is not without the racism element, but like the whole the line that he what's that?
The grouchy, get off my lawn.
Yeah, well, the line that he said that convinced Amber that was going to be me was he was talking to the young girl, I forget her name, but and he's like, "So where are you guys from?" "Well, we're from this island." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Huh. I thought the cold kept all the idiots out."
Right.
And I'm like, I've been saying that for years. I'm like, boy, summertime comes, all the idiots come out, right? Wintertime is when I'm happy because people stay indoors and there's no horse shit going on, And when I heard that line, I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying that for years, right? So I do, maybe not. But
Yeah.
I do. But at the end, he knew, obviously, where he was going, what was going to happen. He knew his fate.
yeah.
And he decided to do something decent with that, try to help somebody out. It's a great flick. I think it's not obviously not my favorite one.
No,
Clint Eastwood's, but
it's just one that I always
it's a
like I said,
poetic
that's what I
film.
like to.
I love the scene also where he's washing and waxing his car, and they just show him on the back porch smoking a cigarette, looking at his car. And he takes the drag off his cigarette and goes, "Ain't she sweet?" He just looks at the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I've done that same exact shit. I washed my 2013 Sonic, and I sit on the porch and go, "Ain't she sweet?" I mean, it's a beautiful thing. That's a fucking sweet car.
All right,
Oh, it's such a
Michelle,
cool car.
give us another one.
Awesome movie.
I'm gonna pick Kill Bill,
Oh,
That's on my list too.
part
Awesome.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
I like both of them for different reasons. Well, for one, I love Asian films, and that's like Quentin Tarantino's love letter to Asian films, both Japanese and Hong Kong. I would say part 1 skews more Japanese, and part 2 skews more Hong Kong. Shaw Brothers.
Pai Mei.
Yes,
It's part 2, isn't it?
who's played by
Gordon Liu.
Yep, who was in 36 Chambers and all that good stuff. It's just a fantastic film. I love. Well, you probably like it so much because there's just like a revenge element to it.
oh yeah. No,
And
I
it's got-
love both those
It's-
movies.
It's got the revenge element. It's got so many stars. Like, and the funny thing is, like, all the stuff that Tarantino like lifts from other movies. I think a lot of people have issues. Some people have issue with Tarantino because he does that. But I feel like he takes these elements and then puts them together in an interesting way, to where it's like you can tell he loves the source material, but he respects it. I guess is what you're saying. Like that noise that booey booey.
Oh,
booey,
God,
booey.
man,
That's
that's
from a movie
crazy.
called King Boxer.
Yeah.
I think it's also called like the Five
Dun,
Fingers of
dun,
Death
dun,
here or
dun,
something
dun.
like that.
Yeah.
But like the fight scene between Kiddo and the
Oren Ishii.
Oren
Ishii.
Ishii. That's Oren Ishii is dressed like the chick from Lady Snowblood. And actually, I just wreck everybody's name, but Meiko Kaji sings the song that she's also Lady Snowblood, but she sings the song, one of the songs that plays in the film.
Yeah.
And like it's like, and there's like an anime part in it that's like an homage to anime, and then like the scene where the Crazy 88 scene where they're fighting, they take a
Sick.
lot of stuff from Lone Wolf and Cub, all that the blood squirting out and stuff. Like, it's just great. I know
Well,
people don't like the second half as much, but I think
dude,
it's cool.
I actually prefer the second
Both
half.
of them.
Yes,
Both of
second
them.
half's good.
Both parts have the density of like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, it's
literally.
like eight movies in one, man.
They're so dense and so involved, but it moves so well too. I mean,
Yeah.
it pulls you right in. I remember just the waiting period because we saw Kill Bill 1.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit. And we had to wait like a year for Kill Bill 2, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
a little less than a year.
It was less than a
And
year.
we were
It was like
shitting our
6 months, 7
pants. Yeah,
months.
6 or 7 months, something like that. And we were just shitting our pants. We couldn't wait. We just couldn't wait
No, I
to
was
see what the
dying.
hell was going to happen
I
to
was
Kiddo.
so mad that I had to wait.
Oh, it was.
I was
But those movies
furious.
are easily another. That's another go-to set of films for me.
Yeah.
Easy. Oh, watch Kill Bill.
And one of the cooler things you get in that is Robert Rodriguez, his band,
Oh.
rocking out the end credits for
Yeah.
part 1 with
What's his band called?
Chingon.
It's called what?
Chingon.
Qinggong.
It means
Yeah.
fucker.
Oh,
Imagine that.
that's
Shocking,
naughty.
I know. The Magdalena Zaragoza, the end credits. Da-da-da-da-dun, That's Robert Rodriguez rocking out the guitar with his band. So
Awesome.
That motherfucker's too talented.
He is too talented.
It's insane. It's not
Now,
cool.
Kill Bill. That's a great call, Michelle.
It
those
is, it
those
is.
movies are.
That's my favorite Tarantino movie. I just refer to Kill Bill as when I say it, it's both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Because
But-
it really is like if
yeah.
you play them back to back, it works better.
It's
Yeah.
one piece.
The mechanics, the whole mechanics of the 5-point palm exploding heart technique
Mm-hmm.
to me, I found that just so fascinating. Like, and you see it performed at the end.
Yeah, you should see King Boxer because that's where he
And
stole
then
it
he
That's where he
Five
stole it
steps
from.
and drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 5 steps. And I mean, he's sitting there talking to her. And he knows he's a dead man, literally walking now. And they have that beautiful conversation.
Yeah.
David Carradine was so
Carradine
good.
was so amazing. And it's
Was that his last movie? His last big movie?
Maybe.
it may have been.
It might have been.
I hope you don't hate
fitting.
me. Are you gonna hate me? Or, I don't hate you.
What?
No,
I could never hate
you
you,
think I'm a
kiddo.
bad person.
Oh.
You might think I'm a bad person. No, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you're a good person. but sometimes you can be a real cunt.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole thing,
Yeah.
and they're just having this beautiful
I'll
conversation.
never hate you, kiddo.
Yeah, he loves her, and she loves him too.
Yeah.
But there's just the way this situation was
It's
set
toxic.
I love
Yeah.
the whole
Each other.
Superman,
Toxic, yeah.
the whole Superman discussion.
up. Oh
Yeah.
God, that whole comic discussion was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Him getting
Brilliant.
shit faced, like getting loaded.
Yeah.
You know,
And
It's
talking about
cra-
the difference between superheroes and
Yeah. It's
crazy because-
alternate identities.
They build up Bill to be like this scary thing, and when you finally meet him, he's really like charismatic and
He's a
chill,
father.
and
He's a
making
philosopher dad.
Yeah, and he's making a sandwich.
he's a father. He's a daddy.
Yeah, I couldn't. I,
And that really is that's so amazing. You said that, Michelle, because that's true. Like, yeah, you see that scene where she's just like, like we're all like, holy fuck, she's on her way.
Yeah.
She's on her way. This is going to be the big showdown.
And now I'm gonna kill Bill.
Yeah.
We need to do
Yeah.
an entire podcast on Tarantino.
We really should.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah,
should wait a little while
Kill Bill
Yeah.
until the new
rules.
movie comes out. I think we got time for one more.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I brought him up. I'm gonna bring him up again. Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Desperado.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
awesome movie.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Gonna go.
A movie I don't watch enough, and I worship that film.
Yeah, and its sequel was great too. Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
great flick.
Was
Love that too.
brilliant.
I got them both.
It's just one of those movies where, like, I loved El Mariachi. I don't know if everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I loved him going, I could do this better.
Yes.
I could take this to a whole other
And it is
level.
way better.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It is.
It's
And-
a beautiful. The action sequences
And
are
the
just completely
acting.
off the hook.
And the acting.
Yeah.
I mean, Antonio Banderas is spectacular in
Yeah.
it. Selma Hayek is Selma Hayek. Danny Trejo. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong as long as he's in your movie. Like you got a hit.
Well, that movie opens up with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Telling the story about the biggest Mexican I've ever seen.
Biggest, scariest
Biggest,
Mexican.
so you get this story.
And every time he took a step, the lights dimmed just for him.
But as the movie, as the story progresses, we see,
He's not the biggest Mexican.
no, he's a man.
He's a dude.
And he's a
pissed
flawed
off,
man,
dude.
too.
He's a
not
very
perfect.
handsome Mexican.
Yeah, but he's a flawed man. He doesn't really know all of what he's doing. He's been, he's been on revenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
He's talking about Kill Bill. Same
Yeah.
idea, right?
Yeah,
He's just trying to get revenge any way he can. He's not a professional at what he does.
But he's very proficient.
Very proficient, yeah. And he gets better, I think. But I mean, you can see him like, oh shit, there's mistakes that were made, and he nearly dies several times. in the
There
film.
are so many sequences in that movie that stuck with me. They got their hooks in me.
Yeah.
That to this day I still think are just spectacularly done. The Tarantino, the Latino dude, sitting at the bar waiting to get the okay from Cheech.
Drinking the shit beer.
And they give him the shit beer,
Yeah.
and he's drinking it, and he says, and Tarantino tells the joke
Yeah.
about the guy pissing all over the bar and all over the bartender and all that. That sequence is so amazing, especially since the joke is literally interrupted with the gunshot in the Latino
Right,
dude's
right.
forehead, and he's like, he didn't check out, you did. It's cool, I say. It's cool.
Yeah.
Shit.
Awesome flick.
Yeah, great.
Man,
good
yeah.
times. Good times.
It's another one. Yeah, it's one I don't give enough attention to. I need to watch that more because it's every time I watch it, I'm like, damn, this movie rules.
Well, no, I had a really hard time. I've been sitting here while you guys were talking about the last two movies, trying to think of what my next movie was going to be, and I couldn't decide if it was going to be Desperado or Manhunter.
Oh man, Desperado. You gotta pick
Yeah.
one or two,
I
Desperado.
watch them both all the time, or on a regular basis. so-
Manhunter is really good though too.
Yeah, and you mentioned Selma Hayek already. Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll have that crush for the rest of my life.
Salma Hayek. Have you guys ever seen Everly?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know you suggested that to me. I watched the shit
Oh,
out of
you
that
guys
movie.
have
movie
got
rules.
to see Everly.
See
oh my
Everly, you'll
goodness
enjoy it.
Is
gracious.
it new?
No,
it was
not
like,
now.
It was about 3 years old,
Yeah.
and it's like straight up
Super.
violent, just hardcore action from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, it
and
is.
it's her
It's all
and
Selma
fighting
Hayek.
for her life through the entire movie.
Damn.
Really?
And it's
I was
really
just thinking,
Is
like,
it
I
more
haven't seen her
violent
anything
than
about.
oh god, what was Frida?
yeah.
That's a joke.
I know.
It's a joke. Everybody looked at me like, what?
What?
What's
Oh,
he,
yeah.
what cracks he smoking?
Yeah.
Everly's
Yeah.
a really good flick. You
Okay.
suggested
Yeah.
it to me, Chris. Yeah, I'm with
I'll have,
Chris
I'll
on
have to
that.
find it.
Violent.
Hashtag I'm with Chris.
Yes.
I'll just put that down there.
No.
Are we done?
I think we're done for tonight.
These are
I'm
great.
out of
These
breath.
are fun to do.
Yeah.
Just randomness. You know,
I mean,
it's fun
this
to
needs
just
to be
riff.
like every 10 episodes or so. Let's
Just
do,
riff.
do a sit-down riff
Sure.
without being too serious about us.
Cool. I'm good with that.
I think
Yeah,
that'd be a
these
good
were
idea.
all great flicks we talked about tonight too. They
Yeah.
were all just
Yeah.
top shelf, just
Yep.
awesome.
And it
movies.
gave us ideas for whole other shows.
Yes.
Well,
You know,
we've been
I-
talking
I've
about.
thought of at least two.
Yeah.
off the top of
Surprised
my
we
head.
didn't do a Quentin Tarantino show.
It's begging to
sure
be
we
done.
didn't?
We did.
Carpenter,
Yeah.
Tarantino.
I think
We've
we did.
done-
We
we
did a
did-
Carpenter one.
Oh, did you?
Did we?
Yeah, I'm almost positive we did a Carpenter one.
We did the Paul
Yes.
Thomas Anderson one. That was a
Yep.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
You don't like Paul Thomas Anderson? PTA?
okay.
You don't like PTA?
He's okay.
Peter?
Better than Wes Anderson.
There will be blood.
Like I said, better than Wes Anderson.
All right. Okay.
Anything's better than Wes Anderson.
All
All
right,
right.
folks, we are out of here. Check us out at facebook.com/The Movie Sleuth, themoviesleuth.com, and also find us on Instagram. And once again, never on MySpace. MySpace sucks.
Is there still a MySpace?
Yeah, there's still a MySpace.
Yeah, Scott, I created a page for you.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. It's all Hello Kitty.
Oh, cool.
It's Scott the Bouncer.
BouncerScott.com.
That was a one-time thing. I needed the money. I was in college.
He needed the money. With that, we're out of here.
Later.
Visit us at www.themoviesleuth.com and find The Movie Sleuth on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and iTunes.